Following his unanimous decision loss to Sergey Pavlovich, Jairzinho Rozenstruik has reportedly been removed from the UFC roster. This decision has sparked confusion among fans, particularly given that Rozenstruik has won 2 consecutive fights prior to his loss against Pavlovich. Meanwhile, the UFC has retained Tai Tuivasa, who is currently on a 5-fight losing streak. Rozenstruik addressed the situation today on X. He wrote, "Let's talk about UFC Saudi Arabia. I came to Riyadh to win and pull off the upset. After a strong fight week, I felt dizzy on Saturday due to the paint fumes. Then just 70 seconds into the fight, I injured my left foot. The moment my switch kick landed on his elbow, I felt it instantly and knew the fight would play out differently than planned. At the end of 2018, I signed my first contract with the UFC, embarking on an incredible journey. I've been honored to compete on the biggest stage, and I want to express my deepest gratitude to the UFC staff for their professionalism and support over the years. Thank you. From being Rookie of the Year to becoming an MMA veteran, this has been an unforgettable adventure. While this chapter closes, my story is far from over. I will continue to fight, take on new challenges, and settle unfinished business in the cage. I'm ready for whatever comes next." Now, Rozenstruik's claims have since been corroborated by multiple fighters, including Terrence McKinney and Jasmine Jasudavicius, who both competed on the same card. They also reported experiencing negative effects from the paint fumes.
Plus, like, we were in the back huffing paint, like.
Oh, okay.
I felt it a little bit too, like, and I was like, and this is probably the best cardio I had like ever in any fight. Like, I've been running like 5 miles every other day, and no, I felt it like from the paint. Well, they did try to help us, like taking some of the sealant off, but like I said, it affected Lucas' breathing. Like, he had to go like the hospital like 2 times.
All right, wow.
And Mike David definitely was feeling it too. He told me so. Like, a lot of other fighters were feeling it too. So like, we weren't just the only ones. So
they like freshly made the rooms. Like the I feel like it must have been the day before. I think it was like right before slap fight, because I talked to the slap fight guys. They were in the same hotel as us, so like it was really cool talking to them. But they said it was so bad.
Dricus Du Plessis has addressed the criticism of his unconventional fighting style, revealing that he and his coaches deliberately crafted it to be effective against both the elite strikers and the high-level wrestlers of the UFC. Dricus also shared his insights into his preparation for UFC 312, detailing his approach to his rematch with Sean Strickland. Dricus is confident that he will secure another victory over Sean.
What I'm bringing as a champion is, don't think the norm or what you think is the people. Don't think what is normal and what people see as this is the way to do it is the way to do it. If you don't step out of the norm, if you don't step out of the ordinary, you will never be extraordinary. Now, if you look at my style, it was criticized, then it was analyzed, and now I think people are taking notes. And they better be taking notes, because they're playing catch up already, and the longer they wait, the longer they're gonna wait to catch up. And you know, for me, I've gotten that criticism of my style from my first fight, the very first one. And I've seen that with a lot of champions. You see wrestling guys going, oh, he's not a good wrestler. And then all of a sudden they want to become strikers. And yeah, always try to finish a fight and always better your striking. But your style is your style, and you keep to it. Get better. Listen, I give myself a 6, maybe a 6.5 out of 10 for what I think I can do in terms of technique and how I fight. So there's a lot of improvement, but my style, as ugly as it seems or as awkward as it seems, that style was developed by us, by my coach, because we saw that as the style to beat your elite strikers, to beat your elite wrestlers, and to beat, because it's MMA striking, it's not kickboxing, it's not wrestling, and it's not grappling, it's MMA. And that's why my style was developed the way it is. It doesn't look conventional because it isn't. It is a style of the one man who has the title in the middleweight division. My preparation for this fight was like my preparation for every fight, focused on me and what I need to go and do in there. I'm not training for Sean's level. I'm training to be the best Dricus that the world's ever seen out there. I'm not training to be the guy, this fight to go beat Sean. I'm training to be champion of the world. I need to beat anybody. If anybody else shows up that night, I need to beat him. And that's how I approach this.
Alex Pereira is currently in Australia, assisting Sean Strickland in preparation for his upcoming title rematch against Dricus Du Plessis. Alex recently shared footage of himself sparring with UFC featherweight Diego Lopes, showcasing his training while balancing his own fight camp ahead of his title defense against Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 313. Jimmy Crute returns to action this weekend at UFC 312, marking his first fight in almost a year and a half. He is set to face Rodolfo Bellato in a crucial matchup as he looks to break a tough stretch in his career. Crute enters the bout coming off 3 losses and a draw, but remains optimistic about his return. Despite his recent setbacks, Crute says he's approaching this fight with a different perspective. He emphasizes that he feels optimistic and in a much better mental space heading into the bout.
Feeling really good, man. Just a nice, chill, ready to go to work sort of mood. So, a bit of both, man. Like, I do a lot of visualization, so I've been sort of just letting my mind wander a lot and sort of letting it all play out. Media and stuff and fight week is cruisy, just whatever happens, but more or less for the fight. You know, I'm here to fight, I'm not here for media and stuff, but I'll enjoy it all in the lead up. I only get asked in the media, you know, like everyone else is just like, oh, how you going and stuff, but the media is like, oh, so tell us about this last 12 months or 16 months. And I'm just like, I can't tell you because so much has happened that I can't pinpoint one thing to tell how to sum up the last however long. So it's fine. It's so different. It's the same thing, but so different, just a different point of view. It's positive this time. I feel in such a good mood. I'm enjoying every second of fight week. Yeah, been around for a while. Sort of know what to expect in a lot of ways, but then I also know to expect the unexpected. So I think that's the key to it. You never know what's going to happen, but just being present and enjoying it is the reason I'm here. You know, I'm here to enjoy myself and have fun.
Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo recently weighed in on what's next for Nassourdine Imavov, following his impressive knockout victory over Israel Adesanya this past weekend. They both agree that a matchup with Caio Bahia would be the most logical step, with Dana White repeatedly stating that Khamzat Chimaev is the frontrunner for the next middleweight title shot. Likely facing the winner of Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland, Imavov may need another high-profile fight before entering the title picture.
I think you give Imavov Khamzat Chimaev. I think stylistically that's not a good fight for him, but there has to be something that needs to go on at the middleweight division. I personally don't think that Strickland should have went in there and fought for the title. I don't know why the UFC did that. And particularly his fight with Paulo Boschini was the most boring fight at middleweight.
Wow.
It was Kamaru. It was super boring. If they're going to give the title shot to Khamzat Chimaev, probably going to have to give Imavov Boralho. Imavov and Boralho makes perfect sense.
If Khamzat Chimaev doesn't want to wait, I think you have to do Chimaev versus Imavov, and winner fights the winner of Strickland versus Du Plessis. But if that's not the case, you do Imavov versus Caio Boralho. He hasn't had that star breakout performance yet to where his name is thrown into that short list of who's next to fight for the title. See, I think Chimaev is next, and then I think Imavov versus Boralho gets the winner of that.
Zhang Weili will defend her strawweight title against the undefeated Tatiana Suarez this weekend at UFC 312. While Weili acknowledges Tatiana's impressive wrestling abilities, she confidently states that she is not afraid of facing her on the ground.
This 3 months is just eat, sleep, training. Eat, sleep, training. Yeah. I'm happy, I'm excited because Tatiana is a very good wrestler, grappling is so high level, right? No lose, so I'm excited with Tatiana's fight. I don't scare her wrestling. Fans is so nice and so friendly. Yes, I like here. Yeah, Chinese fans win, and still.
Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland have been somewhat nicer to each other ahead of their rematch this weekend, compared to their previous fight build-up. However, today Dricus took a jab at Sean, referencing his emotional moment on the Theo Von podcast last year. He shared an AI-generated image of Sean crying on his Instagram story, which reads, "Dr. Dricus is a specialist in dealing with traumas." Some new photos of Sean Strickland sparked concerns among fans, with many speculating that he might be dealing with a staph infection. The photos show Strickland with what appears to be an issue on his left arm. Dricus Du Plessis quickly took notice of the photos and reposted them to his Instagram story. He wrote, "What? He grew taller and added staph infection to his arsenal. Oh sh." Strickland addressed the rumors during the UFC 312 press conference and firmly denied that he has a staph infection.
You the staph. You see this mustache? I give staph. I don't get staph. Calm the down. I don't get sick. I don't get injured, and I don't get staph. So relax.
Yesterday, Jon Jones took to social media to announce a quote-unquote huge announcement scheduled for within 24 hours. In his posts, Jon included hashtags such as #EndStill, #GetReady, and #TheChampIsHere, prompting many fans to speculate that he would be revealing a heavyweight title defense against Tom Aspinall. However, this was not the case. Today, Jon shared this video on X. He wrote, "While this may not be a traditional fight for me, it's obvious that too many Americans are being hurt and forced into medical debt or bankruptcy by a healthcare system so greedy that hospitals and insurers hide their actual prices so they can charge us whatever they want. Their quote-unquote estimates are bullshit, and the corporate greed in American healthcare is breaking people and families across the United States. I've seen it countless times in my own community where I have friends, family, and neighbors who are afraid to even get the care they need because of the entire system. Without real prices up front, is dishonest and rigged for the corporate profit. Time to hold these healthcare bullies accountable. Power to the people, power to the patients."
Thanks for joining me today. This next fight for me is a personal one, but it's not just for me. It's for every American who's ever been bullied, robbed, or deceived. It's arguably the most important fight of my career. My next opponent will be the American healthcare system. I'll be joining Power to the Patients to take on hospitals, PBMs, and insurance companies that refuse to show us their prices so that they can overcharge us while raking in enormous profits. We should know that an MRI could cost $600 or $6,000 so that we can avoid overpaying. In America, we shouldn't have to advocate for honesty and accountability in healthcare, but here we are. It's time we all fight for real prices and transparency in healthcare. God bless America, and power to the patients.
While some fans expressed their support in the replies, the overwhelming majority expressed disappointment that the announcement did not involve the anticipated Aspinall fight. Was this the announcement? We thought you were announcing the Tom fight, so you're not fighting Aspinall? Blue-balled. If you thought this was going to be a fight announcement, congratulations, you played yourself. Bro bamboozled the world. This gif of the words hopes and dreams being crushed. This photo of Dana White looking unimpressed. Vacate the belt. Jon and reading the room. Not even once. An excellent marketing move by this company, but dang, this is not what any UFC fan wanted to hear. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to Michael Chandler potentially fighting Arman Tsarukyan next. It's from Silent Sentinel. It says, Dana gives Chandler too many chances. A title eliminator is insane after he's lost every fight since Tony. The second one's from Shinobi 600. It's in reference to Kevin Lee getting dropped in sparring and the footage being leaked. It says people might not like Kevin Lee, but that doesn't change the fact that this was a scumbag move from a sparring partner. And the final one's in reference to Jon Jones teasing a huge announcement. It says Jon Jones' announcement. Yeah, I took PEDs. Oh, and I'm gay. Nate Diaz. I'm not surprised, motherfucker. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.